Someone once said that writers have a habit of keeping stories alive that have long ended. But what happens in the information age as these writers on social and legacy media, in a sense, play a game of telephone copying and pasting that story through a filter with their own political views, beliefs, and personal agendas imprinted on it? Hey guys, and welcome to Conspiracy, Cults, and Cover-Ups, a weekly series where we go on an adventure down the rabbit hole to examine alternative explanations for the curious circumstances we find ourselves living in today. Today I'm going to tell you the story of the Finders Cult. Though this case is very complicated and this video could take hours today, we are going to sum it up in a very short version. Just a disclaimer, before we begin, this is for purely entertainment purposes only and does not reflect our personal views or beliefs. We mean no disrespect to anyone, and all the information is comprised of research we've gotten from the internet. So with that said, let's put on our tinfoil hats, grab a beverage, and get comfortable as we take this journey down the rabbit hole. In 1987, a concerned citizen in Tallahassee, Florida, contacted police and reported two men, both dressed in dark suits, traveling with 6 children that showed signs of neglect and physical abuse. When questioned by police, the men explained that they were en route to Mexico, where they were taking the children to a school for gifted children. When questioned further, police discovered that these men were part of a cult based in Washington, D.C., called the Finders. The Finders have been seen around town with multiple reports of sightings of these men in dark suits, and even some reports of these men following citizens of the town to their homes and requesting land deeds at the local courthouse to learn more about the occupants of that home. When the two men were accused of kidnapping and child abuse, they explained that they were part of a community that practiced communal child rearing. However, when the two men were charged with these felony charges of child trafficking and abuse, the police raided the Finders' compound, and where they discovered a multitude of children's items, but no children. On a computer hard drive at the compound, they found detailed instructions on how to kidnap, traffic, and sell children, along with a production studio with a satanic altar, passports, and a photo album depicting adults dressed in robes along with these children, slaughtering goats on the aforementioned satanic altar. What's even more disturbing is that the law enforcement reported that some of the Finders cult's members' names were found on the FBI's counterintelligence files. The CIA took over the case and dropped the charges on the two men in Tallahassee, and the children were returned from state custody, and the investigation into that child trafficking was dropped. After public outrage, years later, the Founders cult leader, Marion Pettie, a sergeant for the Air Force whose wife was an agent for the CIA, spoke out and denied the reports of the two men and those 6 children. This was later reported as a case of satanic panic, but one can't help but question even if the reports of a satanic altar and children slaughtering goats were exaggerations made by an overzealous police department that labeled New Age spiritual practices as devil worship. Why were so many government officials involved in this community in the first place? Was this a case of satanic panic, or was it a catalyst for creating satanic panic? As time goes on and the public forgets, and the internet fact-checkers act as self-proclaimed dictators of non-existent empires, this story becomes more convoluted as the pieces are just cast into the sands of time. Anyway, friends, thank you for tuning in, and if you like this content, remember to like and subscribe. And as always, chemtrails in the sky, UFOs on the horizon. Have a wonderful night.